Alright, another tutorial for you, real quick. We're going to build a very simple app and custom list view based off of custom objects. Let's accept all the defaults. We're going to do an empty activity. Okay, first thing we will do is we will create our custom object. So while it's loading, we'll right click our package, new class for objects, and we're going to call this person. Person's going to have a string name, int age, and we are going to generate some getters and setters. Hold control, select the other one so you can choose both, hit OK. And we're going to make a public constructor too. And that's all there is to that. Just a person, it's got a name and an age. When we have our getters and setters here. And that's going to be our custom object. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and go to our layout for our activity main. And we have a text view there. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. Just for the sake of this video, we're just going to make this a linear layout. Alright, and we're just going to have two buttons. Okay. And we will have this one, the text be build people. And we'll have another button. We're going to call this populate list view. And then we will have a list view match parent height. We're going to say match parent, but we're going to also declare this linear layout orientation to be vertical. And let's see how this looks. Okay, there's our list view, and there's our two buttons. Basically, we're going to click the build people button. It's going to make a bunch of persons, bunch of objects, and we're going to hit this button, which will then populate the list view. Okay, so now that we have our main set up, what we're going to do, whenever you're making a custom list view, you can set up how you want each individual part of it to look. For this example, we'll keep it simple. We'll right click layout, hit new, XML layout file. We're going to call this list view underscore item. And in this, horizontal linear layout is perfect, and we will just make 2 text views. Width, we're going to make 0 dB because we're going to use linear layout, and the height is going to be wrap content. Because we're using the 0 to P, we're going to use weight, give it 1, and we're going to assign an ID, TV1, actually we'll call it TV name, and then we're going to make 2 of these. And we're going to call this TV age. That should set them up how we want them. Let's see. Yeah, that will be okay. Just for this example, you can play around with it if you wanted to, and you could just put, let's see, text alignment, center. Let's see if that works. Yep. And that's what we'll do. In fact, we'll do that for both of them right quick, just to make it look clean. Okay, so basically, this is how each item in the list view is going to look. Now, I know this is a whole layout, but what's going to happen is it's going to shrink it up to it. You don't have to do this, but width, we will go ahead and do it here. Height, we'll put wrap content. And each list view item will look like that because that's what we're going to inflate this little thing multiple times in the list view. Okay, so now that we have our layouts identified, let's go to our main activity. Start finding some stuff. Let's do our 2 buttons first. Button, create people, button, button, populate, list view, button. And then we will go ahead and find them. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll say create people button, create people button, set on click listener, new view. And whenever we click that, we're going to call the build people array list method. And then whenever we hit the populate list view button, we're going to call the fill list view method. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set those up real quick. There's easier ways to, and more cleaner ways, like you can implement the view on click listener interface and even set up the on click method in the XML to make it easier, but this is just for a quick example. So we're going to do build people array list. And we'll do the same thing here for Listview. Okay, build people array list. Just really quick, we're going to say person p equals new person. That's right, whenever we make a constructor, we lose our default one, so we'll just go ahead and do that too. Okay, for int I equals 0, I is less than, we're just going to say 25, I plus plus will make 25 people. Let's go ahead and name equals Joe, and int age equals 20. So Joe is 20. And what we're going to say is P equals new person, and then we're going to say name plus I and age. So each time it iterates through this, it's going to create a new person, and we're going to be adding this to an array list of type person. Okay, so each time we do this, we're going to add this newly created person to it, and that should give us 25 people. Okay, and once we have done that, we're going to need to fill this list view. Okay, so in order to fill the list view with custom objects, right here we have an array list of custom objects, which is in this case a person. We are going to have to make our own adapter for that list view. So we'll right click our package, new, Java class, custom adapter will be the name of it. We will extend base adapter. When you do that, hold Alt and hit enter, implement the methods, and here we go. So we're going to create some variables. We're going to make a constructor too. Public cursor adapter. Sorry, base adapter. Sorry, custom adapter, and this will be context array list of type person, people, and we're going to have those in here also. And then whenever we construct this, we will call that array list to be given the value of what we pass to it. So this dot people equals people. Okay. Okay, and resuming, we're just going to continue with this constructor, our own context variable. Okay, so when we construct this, we are going to pass a context and an array list of custom objects. Here we're going to assign it to this class. So when we get the count, we're going to return people.size. Object get item, we're going to return people.get position. Get item ID, we're going to return the position. Get view. What we have to do here is construct our view to take the array list of custom objects and populate the list view, and that's what we're going to return, this convert view. Because let's convert this view. Okay. If convert view is equal to null. We're going to convert view equals layout inflator from the context that we passed in. Inflate this list view item that we made, and attached root is going to be false. What am I missing here? Okay. It was missing the view group parent. Okay. And so from here, we can create a temporary variable for each person in that array list. So we're going to say person temp person equals person get item from this position. And now what we'll do is, since we've inflated this layout, we will get the views from that layout. So we're going to say text view TV name equals text view convert view dot find view by ID r dot ID dot TV name, and that's what we'll do for the age also. Okay, now, and once we have those, we should be able to set the text on them by grabbing information from this person. Sorry, temp person get name. So basically, creating a temporary instance of the person from the position in the array list. We're declaring and assigning values to the views within the list view item that we inflated. And we're setting the text to each one by calling our getter and setter methods, well, our getter methods from our custom class. And it's going to return it. So we'll go back to the main activity. And this should, gotta create, let's see, custom adapter, my custom adapter equals new custom adapter. The context is going to be main activity.this, and the array list is going to be people. And we're going to do list view dot set adapter my custom cursor adapter. Let's go up there and declare this list view real quick. I do not think I gave the list view an ID. Sure didn't. and they both say build people for that button. Okay, let's go back here. Let that clean real quick. So our main activity, just 2 buttons. We're gonna build the people, which is gonna just fill an array list of custom objects with dummy data. In this case, we're gonna have Joe, a bunch of Joes, and then when we hit populate list view, they should all come into this. And even though this is just the default visual for what a list view pops in with, but we are going to, instead of have item 1, sub item 1 like that, we're gonna have our list view items. And it's gonna look like this in each one: name, age, name, age. Yep, our main activity, we found all the stuff. Set our on-click listeners for the 2 buttons just to fill that dummy data. And this right here is where you're gonna want to watch the custom cursor or custom adapter. We passed in it the context, our main activity.this, and the array list of custom objects. And in here we have variables to accept them to be used elsewhere. And in our getView method, we inflate our custom made layout right here for each individual item in the list view. We created a person object at each position, and we got our text views from the inflated little layout. And we're going to set the text by calling our getter methods from our custom class, and we're going to return it. So let's see if this works. I'll let that build and install. Okay, so we're going to hit the build people. Let's build the people. Now we're going to populate list view. Let's see, why is that the names to age? Oh, that's why. Someone probably saw that as I did this video and said, hey, you know what's going to happen, right? And it happened. Okay, let's check it out again. But yeah, the list view is not there because we haven't set an adapter for it. But we're going to build the people, and then we're going to populate list view. And it has closed, and I think it's because we have to turn the int into a string. Let's look. Yeah. So what we'll do is we will convert the integer to a string type. It's almost like casting when you do this. Alright, let's try it now. I'm going to build the people, populate the list view, and there it is. So that's how you take a collection of custom objects and populate a list view. And remember, we just did a text view here and a text view here. But really, if you wanted to, you could make a couple of different ones. But in that case, might want to look into recycler view. But this is just a simple list view example. All right, there you go.